Celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month.
You're about to go to space.
A time to reflect and celebrate the contributions of Hispanics in the United States. From those taking care of the community,
we provide that care that they may otherwise be unable to receive elsewhere,
to those keeping the essence of rich traditions alive and passing them down to future generations.
I've learned so much about the region that my mom is from that I would have never known if I didn't do Folklorico.
My first instinct is I look over at my daughter and see how proud she is riding and, having that Mexican flag with her.
Tonight, we celebrate the beauty and diversity of Hispanic culture.
There's Central Americans, we have South Americans, people from Spain, Mexicanos, claro.
This is KCRA3's Project Community Special, California's Hispanic Heritage.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Lisa Gonzalez.
And I'm Andrea Flores.
Hispanic Heritage Month is an exciting time to highlight and celebrate the people that keep California rich in culture and history.
We begin tonight with students taking care of the medical needs of the most vulnerable. The best part, they do this in the language their patients are most comfortable with. KCRA3's Marisela de la Cruz has the story.
La humanidad que tengan los doctores, eso cuenta mucho.
Maria Maldonado has been a patient at Clínica Tepati for the past 8 years.
We provide free primary care health for patients who are undocumented and vulnerable communities. We provide that care that they may otherwise be unable to receive elsewhere, and that's a big part of our mission for our clinic.
The student-run clinic opened in 1974. Today, they provide preventative services on weekends in Midtown Sacramento.
Make sure we screen for certain cancers and diseases that can be preventable that we know later on down the road cause more chronic conditions.
Their services stretch from checkups to treatments and even low-cost prescriptions for the most underserved. With a touch of comfort, as Spanish-speaking patients get their information in their native tongue.
El idioma tiene mucho que ver. Porque uno viene pues con miedo, porque pues venir enfermo no es agradable, pero cuando uno ya entiende que alguien te va a explicar bien, te va a decir cómo está todo bien, entonces ya uno ya como que empieza a relajarse.
Daniel Treviso has been volunteering with Clínica Tepati since he was a medical student, where he got first-hand experience before becoming a doctor. He now helps oversee the other students.
For a lot of our patients that we see here, they are seen by the undergrad students and the medical students for them to learn how to care for patients with chronic conditions. And if it does get a little bit more complicated, then we have providers here who can also help.
Part of the success to this particular clinic is a unique connection between students and patients.
Aparte de que lo atienden a uno muy bien, lo checan muy bien, le dan a uno calor humano, que es lo principal, que lo hace sentir a uno como si fuera de la familia y lo hace sentir a uno tan bien, lo tratan con tanto respeto.
Our patients, I think a lot of the time we see them as family, people we can relate to because we're, like I had mentioned, we're culturally sensitive and kind of understand the hardships and some of the social determinants of health that our patients have had to go through.
Marisela de la Cruz, KCRA3 News.
Only 8% of the Latino population in the U.S. pursue STEM careers. STEM, of course, is science, technology, engineering, and math. And STEM careers allow students, such as those at the Tepati Clinic, to serve and cater to their community in Spanish.
Turning now to Stockton, a new school is inspiring kids in underserved neighborhoods to go after careers in science, engineering, math, and technology. KCRA3's Leticia Ordaz has the story.
You're about to go to space.
Inside the classrooms at Astronaut Jose M. Hernandez Academy in Stockton, students are learning about outer space.
It takes so long to get to space. It's dark and you can't see anything.
They also have a lot of questions about how to survive a space mission.
How are you supposed to use the bathroom?
The K through 8th elementary school started classes this fall, operating out of a church campus on East Swain Road in Stockton.
I'm hoping that it will motivate the community.
El Concilio named this charter school after the Stockton astronaut with the purpose of changing lives.
I think it's very important to have schools named after successful people of color because I think it empowers the kids of once they learn who the the school's named after and they learn my history, the fact that I came from humble beginnings here in the community, it's going to empower them to believe that, hey, if he was able to do it, why can't I?
She used to say, I hope my kids like school.
Jose Hernandez didn't give up even after being turned down by NASA 11 times. On his 12th attempt, he finally made it to space.
I always tell kids that, don't be afraid to dream big. But always be willing to work hard for it.
Students say the astronauts' connection to the school has them more excited about learning.
It tells me that you have to keep trying, and no matter what you do, just keep pushing and don't give up.
What I'm hoping it will mean to them is that anyone can accomplish what Jose Hernandez accomplished. Someone with his humble beginnings as a migrant farm worker was able to become an astronaut, something that's accomplished by very few people.
It is not uncommon for students to learn about astronauts in the classroom, but in this case, things are different. They're going to get to interact one-on-one with real-life astronaut Jose Hernandez. With his foundation, Reach for the Stars, Hernandez will bring his mobile science lab to campus to give students that hands-on experience.
Since this is a STEM-focused school, we want to have a very well-equipped science lab to have the latest tools, which is microscopes, to be able to do some chemistry, be able to do some physics in the science lab, to start teaching the kids those concepts from very young so that as they grow up, they would have been exposed to it.
They are on a mission to succeed and already have their sights set on college and to infinity and beyond. In Stockton, Leticia Ordaz, KCRA 3 News.
And the astronaut Jose Hernandez Charter School in Stockton is still accepting students. School officials say they expect to have 280 students this year.
Bringing people together through the influence, beauty, and diversity of the Hispanic communities. That's Casa de Español's mission.
Yeah, what started as one woman's dream to teach Spanish has now evolved into the epicenter of Latino culture in Sacramento. KCRA 3's Marisela de la Cruz introduces us to the woman behind it.
A dream that started more than a decade ago. Now a reality in the heart of Sacramento.
We teach Spanish through games, through activities, through music, through art, and they don't even realize that they're in school, really.
Casa de Español opened in 2011. Their goal?
Hoy es miércoles. Mediodía.
To teach Spanish.
And so whether it's at an event or in class, the opportunity for both cultures to come and meet.
Highlight different cultures.
There's Central Americans, we have South Americans, people from Spain, Mexicanos, claro, people from Caribbean and from the Caribbean.
And bring people together through special events.
And the idea is for people to have that opportunity to see what typical food is like, what the people are like, to see different folklorico, the music, as well as dancing.
11 years since opening their doors, their mission remains the same.
Miguel, buenas tardes, ¿cómo estás?
But their operation just a bit different since COVID.
Most of the places here on our street shut down for a while or never opened again. And Casa, we were very lucky to have a strong team to be able to turn everything virtual, and really lucky that students were willing to make that adjustment as well.
Initially, about 3/4 of kids and nearly 1/4 of adult students dropped out. But they've been able to adjust their lessons.
A lot of students were resistant to doing virtual class, and then they realized how much they liked it. But a lot of people are also very excited about coming back.
Because after living through a pandemic, many are finding different reasons to learn a new language.
The biggest thing that I hear from my students, and the reason why they learn Spanish, is because they want to be able to either travel and really experience other places, or because they're wanting to provide services.
Marisela de la Cruz, KCRA 3 News.
And Spanish classes are available for kids, teens, and adults, and they're offered virtually and also in person. Well, rippling to the rhythm of Mexican music.
How Ballet Folklorico teaches history through art. That's coming up next. Hispanic Heritage Month looks at the contributions of Latinos in the U.S. Today, we celebrate the efforts of a Vietnam veteran who is on a mission to promote literacy with his one-of-a-kind library in the heart of Stockton. KCRA 3's Leticia Ordaz shows us how the Chicano Research Center is changing lives.
This is a dream come true.
Richard Soto is living his dream. Since he was a kid, he's always looked for books that would tell him more about his Latino heritage.
But just wanting to know my history.
Now a grandfather, he has more books than he can count. It's been a long journey for Richard. He's been collecting books since he got back from Vietnam in 1968, and he says he has no plans of slowing down.
This is the contemporary area.
These aren't just any books. Each of the pages highlight literature for and by Latinos.
We have one of the best collections on Pancho Villa.
It's proving to be a gold mine of information.
I've had several individuals that are working on their PhDs, and they can't find a Chicano book. So they call, I go, oh yeah, we got them. So I had one lady, she came all the way from Texas.
Soto loves that people come in often to the Chicano Cultural Center in Stockton and borrow his books.
And so I'll have people come in and they'll say, well, do you have that book? And I go, yeah, we have 2 sets. This one I found in Mexico City, and this one was donated.
He says it's good for Latinos of all ages to learn their history and to be proud of the many contributions made to the U.S.
People have been so accustomed not to see us anywhere that they just believe that there's nothing about us. The self-esteem, people feeling proud that, we did do something.
Teléfono, taza, gato, fruta, osito.
Retired elementary school teacher Teresa Ciscalleros found out about Soto's mission and started volunteering her time.
What it means for me is a total passion of a person that believed in a dream, and the dream was to be an advocate of literacy and to open the world up to show people that there are all kinds of literature.
The Chicano Cultural Center has a wide range of children's books. What do you think it does to expose other children to Latino books?
Well, me being from a generation that books were not available to us with, can I say, our faces? And so these young children see their faces, their self-esteem grows because they realize that there's other people, their culture is something wonderful, and in literacy, it shows them about their life.
Ms. Teresa says a space like this is transformational for kids. When children see themselves in books early on, it sets the foundational skills for lifelong success.
They will progress and they will get an education, they will go to college, they will get their BAs, their MAs, and become astronauts, and even the president.
These literacy ambassadors from Stockton are calling on big publishers to start producing more books featuring Latinos as the protagonists and authors of their own stories. They say there's a long way to go, but the Chicano Cultural Center is here to provide resources and representation for the community.
Please understand that Latinos do read. Yes, we use the media and we use our phones but we love to read. We really do. And we learn from what we read.
In Stockton, Leticia Ordaz, KCRA 3 News.
You can visit the Chicano Research Center at 415 East Main Street in Stockton. There you can check out books and historic pieces of art. If you have any Latino literature you would like to donate, they're always looking to add to their collection.
Well, from the classroom to the dance floor, Baile Folklorico celebrates Mexican culture. And one Sacramento dance group shows us how the choreography and costumes are more than just entertainment, but also an artistic history lesson. Fast footwork, tapping, stomping, colorful dresses rippling to the rhythm of Mexican music. This is Baile Folklorico. These dances are as different as the regions they represent, but they've also been used to unify a country made up of 32 states.
I'm also somebody who's in love with the history as well. It's so unique being able to do it that way through dance, and communicate through the language of dance.
Alexis Atherley has been dancing Baile Folklorico most of her life.
I think that's just an honor, right, to carry, and I feel like as a dancer it's really important, to carry those traditions, not only teach it, but also teach what the history was, explain why we dance this way, why the dresses look like this, because that's really part of preserving the Mexican heritage.
So let's start reviewing some of the performances. Let's begin with our Chihuahua. Just stand normal.
Osvaldo Ramirez is the artistic director for Baile Folklorico Nube de Oro.
All of these traditions date back to several centuries or even decades, but once they stop being performed and people no longer do them, they get lost.
The dances represent the history of what has happened in Mexico after gaining their independence from Spain.
After independence, there was a whole mestizaje, which is the blending of the indigenous, the African dances, and the European dances that kind of contributed to the diversity of Mexican folklorico dances that we have nowadays.
The choreography and the costumes tell a story.
The costuming is relatable to the environment of the area or specific political mentalities at that time.
These are the costumes for the state of Chihuahua.
So these are based on polka dances. So in the late 1800s, we had people coming from Germany, Poland, and the Czech Republic, and so they brought their outfits.
Jalisco's costumes are practical for the ranching way of life in that state.
When the Spanish arrived to Mexico and after colonization, that whole area of Jalisco, Colima, Michoacán, Nayarit, it was a region called El Bajío. And so that area really resembled a lot of the places that look like Spain, where they had the ranches. One of the escaramuza dresses, these are the women that ride horses, right? So they're kind of unique and specific because they have a lot of ribbons at the very bottom.
Andres Maldonado's mother is from Jalisco. It's why he dances and represents her native state.
I've learned so much about the region that my mom is from that I would have never known if I didn't do folklorico.
I found my old ballet folklorico shoes in the attic. They're 25 years old, but they still have the nails hammered in here. This is what makes the tapping sound when they're stomping during the dances. I'm gonna see if they still fit and see if I can't get into one of these costumes. Stand by. Ta-da! Or should I say, dun, dun. Let's go dance. My shoes still fit, and the steps I learned a quarter of a century ago are still the same. It's history taught through art from generation to generation.
It's more than just a traditional dance. I want them to know that it's an entire history that Mexico has to offer and a beauty.
And I love that the dance is not only a blend of cultures, but also a blend of the different genres of dance. You've got tap, you've got ballet, and jazz all blended together with the culture, teaching history and culture and passing it down from generation to generation.
It's nice to see the costumes, the dance steps, the music all blended into one, and even more impressive that you still remember all those moves.
They haven't changed.
Well, low riding is now legal in the city of Sacramento.
We're going to take you cruising with one local family, making sure the tradition is passed down for more generations to come.
Last month, a measure to celebrate the history and culture of cruising in the state was chaptered by the Secretary of State, thanks to bipartisan support.
The Sacramento Lowrider Commission was acknowledged for its role in preserving the art of cruising. They fought to repeal a 34-year-old ordinance that prohibited cruising in the city until now.
One family explains how they're keeping the Chicano tradition alive.
You are my angel, my angel.
So first, usually my dad pulls out the car so I can wipe it down. Iron all my clothes. Gotta make sure they look sharp.
Going out for a Sunday cruise is a mindset for Nayeli Rodriguez.
And then I just throw on my music. Depends on what mood I'm feeling. I'll put on funk, old school rap, or just oldies.
The 13-year-old says it's not just about looking good, it's about feeling good too.
You have to look nice for everybody, even yourself. It's not just for other people to see.
Low riding is a lifestyle, one she was born into.
So first we have to dust down the car, then we have to actually wipe it down with... Right now I'm just rinsing down the white walls a little bit because they have a little bit of buildup on them.
She's not old enough to drive yet, but her dad's 1937 Buick Special convertible.
Just something about this car is different and I love it a lot.
Will one day be hers.
My way of earning it is I always help my dad set up when we go to car shows. I help him clean the car, and whatever he needs help with, I just help him do it.
Every Sunday, Carlos Rodriguez and his daughter get the so-called bomb ready for a cruise.
Oil's good, cool's good.
Their destination, Franklin Boulevard in South Sacramento for a car show celebrating Mexican Independence Day.
Artwork, murals, lowering it, putting it back to stock, doing a hot rod, you know what I mean? There's so many different ways that you can make this your own canvas.
Lowriding, an expression of Chicano culture in California since the 1960s.
It was a way for you to stay in your neighborhood, still have respect from people, and they didn't expect you to go out and do a lot of this, the dumb stuff that was going to end you up killed or in prison.
Gaining popularity in the 70s and 80s.
Started, putting sandbags in the trunk and customizing it, modifying it, and then they realized that, police started messing with them because of that.
Lowriders are being punished, but everyone agrees they are not at fault.
And was illegal in the city of Sacramento until an ordinance was repealed earlier this year, thanks to the Sacramento Lowrider Commission.
We sat down with politicians, with the police, the mayor, and we played our cards right. We sat down with the right people and made sure that they were on board.
Car clubs and lowrider commissions in cities across California, including San Jose, National City, and Modesto, now following Sacramento's lead.
We're kind of giving them the blueprint to what we did, how it worked for us, and a lot of these other cities, when they see Sacramento, the state capital, wow, they repealed their ordinance. They've got to be onto something. We can't be the only ones left out.
To save a piece of Hispanic heritage for the next generation.
My first instinct is I look over at my daughter and see how proud she is. She's gonna hold that torch one day. She's gonna be the one with her kids in the car. Don't judge us by how we look or what our past is. We're just trying to spread the love and inform and educate, and that's the best thing we can do. Keep riding, slow and low.
Lowriding is mostly popular with Chicanos and Latinos, but they are trying to expand it to everybody so they can all enjoy the culture.
And what quality father-daughter time. I love that for them. Well, thank you so much for celebrating Hispanic heritage with us.
Have a great night.